Tkachuk is on the ice, that at some point he's just going to get involved and have to be willing to eat a punch?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, obviously, that's part of their game. They, as a group, they've done a good job of that in the playoffs. Obviously, they wouldn't be here if they haven't. So, yeah, I mean, you just got to stick up for each other, stick together as a group, and we know it's going to be physical. So that's the biggest thing for me.
Jack, when you look at Shea's performance, right? He's on a 27-game scoring drought. And
Who's that?
Shea.
Oh, okay.
But everything that he does involve, the stick handling, the defense, the assist, how important is it for him to be involved like he was tonight?
It's a hell of a suit.
Thank you.
You weren't messing around today, huh?
You either always complimenting the shoes, the shirt, the suit. Come on now. I figured you'd know by now.
I love it. Yeah, Shea's a huge part of our group, and it was good to see him get rewarded there. But like you said, he's been doing so many other things for us, and the way that he transports the puck up the ice, and he could be a one-man breakout at times. He does a lot of he does so much for our team. So give him a ton of credit, and it's good to see him get rewarded there. Obviously, like you said, he's been on a little drought, and I'm sure it feels good to find one, and hopefully it boosts his game the next few.
Thanks. I mean, there's a lot to go through, but the save you have where you stop it with the stick blade, take us through what goes on, and when did you know you had it, or was it or what was it when you knew you had it?
The save?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it kind of played through a little screen, went across Tkachuk, and he was on his 1T side, so I kind of flew across to the 1T, and then I saw him throwing it back door, and Cousins was there, so yeah, I reached out my stick and was able to track and got a piece of it with my paddle, so yeah, felt good.
What's it like to be the winning goalie in the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah, no, it feels awesome. I mean, we're 3 away, the job's not finished, and Florida's going to have a push game too here, so I thought we played a great game tonight, so it's just kind of rinse and repeat.
Getting physical, how do you guys sort of not only match that, but you don't get caught in the mind games? Because it seemed like with guys like Tkachuk were trying to be aggressive. You guys wanted to, but you didn't follow through with it. So what was that conversation about being patient? Yeah,
no, our team, we've done it all year. We'll stick up for one another, but it's also the maturity of this group, just being able to kind of, they're laughing a bit. But, it's like when they're going to do that stuff, they're going to try and instigate us. We don't need to react. We just need to stay focused on the game plan.
You did mix it up a little bit about 8.5 minutes into the first. Was that kind of your, all right, I'm in the series now moment?
Yeah, if guys are going to come into the crease and try and push me around, I'm going to stand my own ground. I'm not going to do anything too crazy or get too wild, but I got to stand for my own ground.
What was going through your mind during starting lineups before the game started?
It was pretty cool, pretty surreal. I mean, you grow up dreaming of being in the Stanley Cup Finals and playing for the Stanley Cup, so it's kind of cool to take a second back, or look back and realize that we're here.
Was there a moment where you felt settled in?
Yeah, I feel like we've just been preparing well, right? Our team, the first shift, I think we came out hard, and I felt settled right from the start.
Had you ever seen the save Holtby made on Alex Tuckey Game 2 in 2018?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
It looked like almost similar to what you did with Cousins.
I guess, Holtby, he had an unbelievable series. He was part of the reason why the Capitals won that cup for sure, a big reason. But, yeah.
We'll get to the team win, but can you describe the feeling when your shot went in the back of the net?
Yeah, I think having not scored so far in the playoffs, I was looking for one, and I guess tonight's a pretty good night to get the first one.
So being patient on that play because you're at the blue line and there's pressure, just maybe if you could kind of walk us through the way to play.
I'm just trying to create some space. Fortunate, we had bodies in front and had a good screen, and just able to beat them.
Aiden's had big performances all postseason, but when you look at this, A, where does this rate, and B, what was your thought on that save where he stops it with his stick?
It's unreal. It's kind of per usual now at this point. Him making those saves and kind of bailing us out, but he's at our back the second that he stepped in, and we've been fortunate to help him on the other end.
And then with that third period, gets to clear scores late. What was the conversation about not letting that be a dagger, but yet you had guys go out and score 3 goals and you're able to put it away?
Yeah, we were going to let that phase us. It's a tough bounce. Those things happen, but I thought we had a good second period, and we were just trying to build off that.
Was the feistiness kind of what you would have just kind of started early, ended late, and was there throughout the game?
Yeah, it's exactly what we expected. We knew that's how they wanted to play, and we're just trying not to play into it. We're going to try and take the power plays when we can, and try and capitalize.
Unfinished business for the Misfits, and to be able to deliver, I guess, on this stage in that way, that's got to be pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, but at the same time, we're not even close to being done here. We have 3 more wins to go. We're going to be focused on next game and, just go from there.
Jay, for you personally, you talked about the other day at City National, you said it yesterday at Media Day, you used the word overwhelmed a lot from the 2018 team. For you personally, last thing you look like tonight was overwhelmed. The boys, the couture, for you personally, how'd you feel?
Good. I feel like a lot of us felt more comfortable tonight. It kind of showed in our game the way we attacked and the way we stayed out of scrums and, I guess the score sheet as well.
Also, 13 wins. Tonight was the 9th coming from behind. Is that only a number or you give more value to that?
Hard to say. I didn't know that was our 9th. Come from behind win. I think it's a little different, right? They scored the first goal. We tied it up. And we didn't trail after that, right? I think it's a little different when you're, I kind of see a comeback win more as, the late goals and stuff like that. But obviously we'd like to have better starts, get the lead early and play with the lead. That's when we play our best hockey. But we don't change anything. We stick to the program. We stick to what makes us successful, and I think that's why we don't get rattled. They score the first goal shorthanded. It could have been a bit of a backbreaker for us, but we get the next power play, we score. Marshall steps up, Stevenson makes a great play, and we just keep going. So that's what we got to do. Can't let the momentum swings get too drastic in this series. Got to stay even keel and keep going.
Last question, front right.
Alan Snell, lbsportsbiz.com. This is for Zach. I know your goal tonight's going to get obviously high-profile attention, but you did dole out some also high-profile shots and hits as well. I was wondering if you can discuss a little about the physical play, your physical play, and also the physical nature of the game as well, and how that might play out for the Moments.
Yeah, I mean, you just described what playoffs is and how you'd expect it to be, right? And I think obviously when you're looking at the start of this series, I think both teams have the the capability of playing pretty much any way, right? And both teams have big guys that love to play physical and kind of impose their will a little bit, right? So, but at the same time, that's what makes playoffs, fun and gets everyone going. And those little things create momentum swings and can liven up a bench and all those sorts of things, right? So I think both teams were coming out to make a statement and that's what you expect out of them, and that's what we expect out of ourselves.